Hey guys, Mr. 3D Hero here, and welcome to today's loadout video. In today's loadout video, I'm bringing you a faction leader that is well known on the frontier as a bloodthirsty mercenary for hire. He will always do his job no matter how gruesome or bloody it is, and as long as you're paying good, he's always there for you. And that is Blisk. Now Blisk for me is a character that, when it comes down to actually building a loadout around him, it's quite hard. Now the one problem I had with building him as a main loadout is that I don't exactly know what type of class he would be, because compared to all the other pilots in the game, like for example Viper has the pulse-blade body but a different helmet, so that's completely fine because I can still base a loadout around that. However, for people like Blisk and Sarah and Barker and such, it's relatively harder to actually base a pilot loadout around them, because the only way I can actually kind of build something around them is probably by focusing on the actions and what that pretty much tells as them as a either Titan or type of person they are on the frontier. So Sarah Briggs is kind of a leader, but she's also a scout, so she'll be great for going as a scout type pilot, so grapple class would be quite great. While Barker is well known for his flying maneuvers, and he was a wingman in the Titan Wars, so he could preferably be good for, I guess, the pulse blade or the grapple class, or even the AWOL at best. Now Blisk is slightly harder to build around because I haven't really seen anything around him that uses the majority of the class abilities. So the closest thing I decided to go with is probably the pulse blade body, and that's simply because of the fact that one thing I've noticed about him is that he's quite flexible and he's always on the move, so that means that he wears less gear and such. Now you're probably arguing with me, probably saying, then why didn't you just go with the grapple? Well, I don't really see him as a grapple pilot, but then at the same time you could preferably go with grapple, because then knowing him, you could probably use that execution with the grapple ability and use it as a main primary weapon, because he's great for close quarters combat, so him with a grapple will probably be a bit more devastating against other pilots and AI in the game. But I kind of leave that up to you to decide on what class you want. So, but this is probably one of the first times now that I'm officially saying that for this class, go with whatever you feel suits him. But for me personally, I'm going to stick with the pulse blade. So main loadout wise, class is pulse blade. His main primary weapons are the car SMG or the RT01. These are two weapons for different engagements. They're both relatively good ammo consumption, good damage. They're relatively good at taking out pilots and AI, like relatively easy. And these are the two main weapons I see Blisk mainly using, from campaign to the figurine he's based off. Those are the two I tend to choose. You could probably go with whatever you like, but I tend to try to stick as close as possible to what type of loadouts and weaponry they tend to use in game. The secondary now is either the wingman, or personally for me, the Mozambique. I chose the wingman because there was one cutscene where he was using the wingman, but I decided that through playing around in the game, I decided that the wingman, that the normal standard wingman, is quite terrible now. And I don't know why, but I tend to find that every time I try to land a shot on the pilots, I tend to get one shot and then I'm killed afterwards. And whether that's because my shots tend to not hit directly on target, even though I'm up close, I'm not sure. I know I'm a terrible player and I'm quite terrible at aiming, but the fact that the wingman is one of those weapons that I would love to use, but I just struggle to use it so much unless you land a headshot, it's not one of the weapons you want to use. Do use wingman elite though, that's probably a better choice for you. And now the first slot, I decided to go with the MGL, simply because he's Blisk. I can see him being a up close and personal pilot, so he likes to get in up close situations with AIs, pilots and Titans. So I can see him wall running around, say, a station Scorch or station Toad, staying above in the air as much as possible, raining MGL around onto that Titan until his Titan drop. The boost now, I decided to go with Dicefall. Now this is probably the first time I've ever actually used Dicefall in game, and the good thing about Dicefall is that it's so random, you don't know what you're particularly gonna get. For all you know, you can get the hardcover, you can get amped, you can get tip mines, or you can get radar jammer. And that's kind of good because that's kind of what describes Cuban Blisk's personality in a way. It's completely random, but he knows exactly what he's doing. But he's so unpredictable that it's kind of hard to predict or counter who he is. So I decided to go with that. If you want to, you can always go with amped as well, because that kind of describes him as well. He's a faction leader, so I can see him basically hitting hard and doing as much damage as possible. But these are the two options I tend to go with. The ordnance now is the Firestar. Like I said, Cuban Blisk is quite flexible, so I tend to see him being one of those people like being kind of like a ninja slightly, and being able to throw Firestars at pilots with dead accuracy, or throw them directly on the Titans, blocking their vision while he does a kind of takedown to either steal that battery, do damage to them, or basically cause them to come follow him while he brings his Titan down to crush them. And now his Titan, I'd say go with Legion. And this is kind of obvious because this is what the Titan he used in the main campaign for Titanfall 2. And this is what he also used as a figurine. I believe it's a McFarlane figurine. And it shows what type of Titan he uses, and that is a Legion. And that describes him quite perfectly. You know, providing as much fire and support as possible from him, while also kind of devastating the other enemy team. And Legion, in the right hands, is relatively dangerous to play against. Your pilot kits are going to be health regeneration, low profile, and your camo, if you bought the relic camo pack, there should be a camo that is white, black and red as currently seen on screen. Go ahead and pick that one. That basically fits perfectly for the colours that he is based at, but if you can find anything that's a slightly bit closer to his colour, then by all means go with it. Now gameplay wise, like I said personally, Cuban Blisk for me is someone that is quite flexible. Cunning, he's a strategic type pilot or leader. He basically wants to do as much damage as possible and basically be as devastating to the other enemy team without basically giving them a chance to fight back. It's kind of what you want to do. You want to play as aggressive as possible in the game. You want to basically pin the enemy down so much to the point of where the other players on your team will realize what you're doing and provide as much support fire as possible. Now, if you're a really good player and you know how to use a car SMG and R201, this really shouldn't be much of a problem for you. Everything there is pretty much set out for you to be as aggressive as possible. And you also have, because of the fact that you're a pulse blade, you can also throw a pulse blade kunai onto the ground to basically locate where enemy players are and AI are. So this basically gives you a nice vantage view to know where to attack, how to attack, and also help out your friendlies to know where they should go ahead and attack as well. Now, adding the fact that you have Legion and Dice Roll as well attached with you, it kind of makes you kind of unpredictable as well. At first, when players see you being aggressive using a car SMG, they're going to think, oh, you're just one of those players that just going to try, that probably uses something quite fast and lethal. Now, they're not going to understand and know for the fact that, one, you're using a boost dice roll, so that's completely unpredictable for your end, and it's also quite unpredictable for the enemy side as well. Now, if you get lucky, you may get a battery boost, and if you get a battery boost and add that to your Titan Legion, that makes Legion even more of a devastating force. And that also brings in the Titan now, Legion. Like I said previously, because a majority of players are probably going to see you as being a fast and lethal and aggressive type player, they're most likely going to expect you to be playing in something much quicker. So either Ion or Tone or Ronin or Monarch, maybe North Star at best, depending. But the moment you drop in with Legion, they're probably going to think of you as an easy target. Because Legion, although lethal and deadly, he is relatively quite slow. But he has quite amazing and deadly capabilities and abilities built into him to devastate enemy team players. The moment you drop it in, go into long range mode and take out pilots from long distances. Try and stay as far away as possible, because the thing with Legion is that he's quite slow, and in up close situations he's too much of a big target. So stay as far away as possible until your friendly start come in, and then that's where you can come in and give them more support fire. Hopefully, if you play your cards right, you'll get your core ready, and this is where you can go a bit haywire. If you're playing attrition, activate your core and watch numbers fly, because not only will you be killing pirates left, right and center, you'll also be killing AI, and that's going to really boost up your final team score. So in general, for you to be effective with loadout, just be aggressive. That's it. Literally, you're providing as much firepower as possible, and you're basically giving no breathing room for the enemy team. And if you're used to something like this is probably the best loadout for you. And if you're someone that likes to kind of cosplay in video games like this, then go ahead and use this. And this is probably one of the loadouts I recommend for players that have kind of been in the game for quite a while. But if you're someone that has never played this type of loadout, I recommend you don't play it just of yet until you get a good understanding of how the maps and how most battles tend to play, because you can't always be aggressive. And like I said, you can be aggressive with loadout, but play it smart. Understand the map, understand the players, understand the fights, and once you understand all this, then you can go into whatever mode you like that benefits you the best. So in general, good loadout, play aggressive, provide as much support fire, devastate the enemy team, do not give them breathing room, and you'll win and succeed and pretty much may get a few rage mails here and there. So I'll probably give this loadout a good 8 out of 10. Relatively good and very well rewarding for players that want to maximize their maneuver skills. So that is the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then by all means leave a like, a comment and subscribe for more. If you didn't, then by all means leave a dislike. I understand, and I know what to improve on in the nearby future. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon.